Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, tonight we're going to talk about a question that was sent in. It's about a meme. I don't get through all the messages. I try, but I don't get to all of them. If it's important, send it again if I haven't addressed it in a couple of days. So, the question was asking me to address a meme, and I'm sure we've all seen it or a variation of it. Why is Narcan free to addicts, but EpiPens cost $600? Okay, so starting at the top, Narcan's not free. Somebody paid for that. Narcan is not free. Okay, in scenario 1, EMS shows up, hits the person with Narcan. They bill them. If they have insurance, the insurance pays for it. If not, they're supposed to pay for it out of pocket. If they don't, the cost gets eaten. The same as any other life-saving drug, to include Epi. That's how it works. That's how the system works. And would you want it to work any other way? Some kid gets stung by a bee, is laying there by the soccer field. EMS shows up and looks at his mom and says, I understand the kid's dying, but we need to see the insurance card first. No. I've had this conversation a few times, so I know the next one is, well, cops have it in their cars. They do, but you'd have to be a pretty bad law enforcement administrator to pay for that out of pocket. There are grants everywhere for Narcan. Insurance companies will pay for it. Substance abuse treatment centers will pay for it. There are foundations set up by the parents of people who have OD'd that will pay for it. It's out there. The Narcan is paid for by somebody. The follow-up is, oh, well, what about the training? August 31st is International Overdose Awareness Day or something like that. American Addiction Centers is offering free training at all of their locations nationwide. The training is out there for free as well. I do know of 2 departments that use drug forfeiture money to pay for Narcan. I mean, that seems kind of fitting, to be honest. Another argument that comes up is that it enables the addict. No. The way this works is that it inhibits the effects, which sends the person into withdrawal. If you've ever seen anybody in withdrawal, you know that's a pretty horrible experience. It's also one of the things that leads to people getting clean. There is no data that I have ever seen, and I look tonight, to suggest that Narcan availability increases addiction. That's just not a thing. But this meme resonated because it plays on a stigma. And the idea is that people with substance abuse problems are poor, so they can't pay for the Narcan, so it's free. That stigma exists. And it creates the idea that, well, we should just let them die. Seriously, that's what it's saying. Because this is a life-saving drug. Well, people with substance abuse issues are not always poor. That's not true. Many of them have insurance. That's how the scripts get filled. What this is a classic case of society training us to kick down. Why are people really mad? Is it because an addict got a dose that cost $37.50 and saved their life? No sane person is angry about that. They're angry because EpiPens cost $600 and it costs $2 to make. I looked. The most recent manufacturing cost I could find was $2. In the past, I found some that said it was $8 and one that said it was $30. Any of those numbers, $600, that's a pretty huge markup. That's why you're angry. That's why people are mad. But they feel powerless against the pharmaceutical company. So the pharmaceutical company rips them off, charges them $600 for something that costs $2. Can't do anything about that. Need to feel better. Kick down. There's that lowly addict. And the message that gets conveyed is that, well, addicts should die. That's what comes across. It doesn't encourage pharmaceutical companies to lower their prices. It encourages people to turn a blind eye to those in need. It encourages the devaluation of human life. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good night.